everyone, this is Dr. Geo with this week's video introduction to week number 3 of our course in Nursing Theory and Professional Roles in Nursing. And once again, a very good week of discussion this week. In week number 3, in week number 2, the primary topic was on this theory analysis and discussion of how do we analyze a theory. And kind of going along with that is really this whole discussion of why is theory important, or is theory important? How does theory really relate back to nursing science? And we'll be discussing this more in week number 3. But really, it's important to understand that nursing theory is at the core center of all things nursing. I mean, if we're talking about nursing as a true profession and as an art and as a science and as a true healthcare practice, really is important that it has a theoretical framework and a theoretical basis, because without theory, we're just doing what other people tell us to do. I mean, we're just doing task. We're doing task not any different than somebody that's putting cars together, or somebody that is building something. I mean, it's technical, but it's not a profession. This idea of a theory is really kind of at the whole core of what we do. And so in week number 3, we're going to continue this discussion. All of you, by the time that hopefully everybody, by the time that you see this video here at the beginning of week 3, that you've been working together in your teams, coming up with your presentations on your nursing theorist. And you'll notice that each one of the nursing theorists defines 4 concepts, and we call these concepts the overarching concepts, or the meta-concepts of nursing. The meta-concepts are nursing, health, environment, and person, or individual. And so each one of the nursing theorists defines those terms a little bit differently. And so this week you're going to define for yourselves, what are these terms? How do you define them for your practice? You should reflect on the nursing theories. How does this discussion of the nursing theories impact your view of your particular personal philosophy? What would your personal philosophy of nursing look like? How would you define it? It's a little bit different for each of us. And that's one of the things that's really neat about nursing, is each one of us can practice it in a little bit of a different fashion. I'll be sharing a little bit about my personal philosophy, how I see it, how I view it. I'll be just sharing that in class with you as well this week as we give feedback. But that's the primary goal this week. The primary focus is on this discussion about the meta paradigms and those core concepts of nursing. How does it play out in your personal philosophy of nursing? You'll also be reporting on and sharing your thoughts on the team discussions this week. Please note, I have extended the day. The due date for the nursing theory discussions is going to be Friday, not Wednesday. I just realized I still had it is listed on Wednesday here in one of the forum discussion responses. Please know it is due on Friday. But you're going to be doing a journal reflection as well, and journal reflection with your reflections on your group work on each group's work this week. So it's going to be due at the end of the week. It's going to be due on Sunday, that journal. So that only gives you a couple days to go in and look at everybody else's. It's only going to give you a couple days to view those, but I think that everybody would rather have a couple extra days to work on those on those presentations, even though if that shortens your time a little bit for the amount of time that you have to actually review them. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not, as I'm explaining it, I hope I'm not confusing the situation at all. Just know that you have until Friday to work on those work on those presentations, and then you'll be reviewing the presentations and giving feedback in your journals by Sunday. If anybody has a problem with those timelines, let me know. I'll work with you on those individually. And so I believe that is pretty much it for this week. That's the main task for this week. Please keep an eye on the upcoming weeks. You're going to have your concept paper, your concept analysis paper due. I've answered a couple questions about that in the discussion forums. That's really the next big assignment that you have coming up. And look for your grading feedback later this week. It'll be by the end of the week, no later than Friday, probably on Wednesday or Thursday this week. You'll see your grading for your journals, for your and for your discussions. And so I look forward to participating along in class with you. As you have any questions, let me know, and we'll see you in the discussion forums.